wolves having sex, right, is not going to reproduce, and therefore, if all male wolves, talking about animals as an example, if all the male wolves only were having sex with only the male wolves, then wolves would die off. They would go extinct. Okay? And that's a fact. I don't have to, that's common sense. So therefore, this is the same this is this is the same thing with humanity. If men are with men and women are with women, we would die off as a race, which means this is not correct for humanity, which lets us know what is right for humanity. All you got to do is use this common sense. Now, you can go by feelings all you want. You can go by what you went through all you want. But that is common sense. Okay? Now, whatever you want to do with common sense, whatever you want to do with this understanding, that's up to you. But don't try to reconstruct the whole universe. Don't try to be a gay astronaut. I'm just being real. Please, don't try to be a gay astronaut. Reconstructing the whole universe and world because you're not using common sense. You can't be man enough or woman enough or adult enough to live up to your own truth. You know what's the biggest level of living up to your own truth? It's not trying to make it acceptable to somebody else. Won't you live out who you are? Who you want to be. Let me put it like that. Live out who you want to be, overriding common sense, and take responsibility for that, which would be not joining us to it. Don't join us to it. Don't join us to it would be the highest level of living out your own truth. Living out, I'm going to say it like this so it's no confusion from where I'm coming from. Living out how you want to live. Living out how you want to live. Why don't you take responsibility for that and stop trying to make us accept it? You want to live like that. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. Now, my only responsibility is to make sure humanity has the right to strive long enough to see themselves and go through your spiritual journey and be able to make the right, correct decisions. Everyone should be able to live long enough in order to with a chance to make correct decisions. So in other words, if you're young and gay, people shouldn't be shooting you down. You might make more babies than a straight man. You might be a better sexual partner than half of these straight men with women. They might find you to be a better sexual partner than half of these straight guys. They may find being with you more sexually pleasing. But humans should give everybody the right to live in order to go through life for themselves. Because you don't know what happened. They could have got turned out and that's why they are the way they are. So they have the right to go through life, which is a spiritual journey, and to be able to find their own way. And if they're being 100, they're going to find common sense, and common sense is going to lead them the right way. That's all I have to say. So we should be fighting, while we're on the subject of laws, we should be fighting more for protection and safety for the LGBTQ community. That they have the right to walk down the street without being killed. Now that's what you should be fighting for, because that's what's happening. You got a lot of these crazy people out here, and these kids are coming out younger. Hear me out. Hear what I'm saying. These kids are coming out queer, bi, lesbian, and gay way younger, and they're so innocent to the world. They don't know, half of them don't know how hated the LGBTQ community is. I didn't know it. I didn't know how hated it is. So I know a kid does it, and they go out here wearing anything, looking any kind of way, thinking they're living their own truth, or in living how they differ. I put it like living how they want to live, and they don't realize the danger that's out there. So what we have to do, while there's some time left, or while with all the time that's left in the world, we have to give people, humans, the right to live, the protection to live, to not be harassed by these bozos that don't have a grip on reality. They act like they don't know what it is. They lived long enough to have heard some stories, some real stories, and they still act like they don't know why people are the way they are, which classifies them as novices to life. You're a novice to life. I'm not a novice to life. So that's not where I'm coming from. My main thing is protecting humanity, physically speaking. So someone should be able to go down the street, and you might not like how they look, you might not like how they dress or walk or whatever, but they should be allowed to live in this society that we live in. Because God, I'm going to put it like this. God is not calling us to go stone some gay people. Can most people agree with that? God is not calling me and you in the American society, how it's set up with these laws and hate crimes and all of that. He ain't trying to get you locked up for trying to harm some gay person. Now, I mean, some people just don't have understanding. So God is not calling you to do that. Right? He's not. So then you could conclude that instead of harming someone, you should be trying to protect people as much as you can. That's what you should be trying to do. You're not harming them. That's not your mission. So, and you can't really leave them out there, because then that's still putting them in harm's way. You know, let's be smart about it. You're not putting them in harm's way directly, it's indirectly, because you know what's going to happen out here. You know what these people are like out here. So indirectly, you're putting them in harm's way. So what you should be doing, what you should be fighting for, is not gay marriage and all of that. What you should be fighting for is tougher laws on gay hate crimes. 10 years or better, 20 years. That's what's going to put these gay haters or anti-gay people at bay. Nobody's trying to go to jail for 10 years, 20 years for doing some gay crime or gay hate crime. And you're not agreeing with the lifestyle, you're not agreeing with being gay, you're not agreeing with gay marriage. You are giving humanity time to use common sense and to make, in time to live long enough to know what you're doing and to do the right thing. Okay? That's what a system should be offering. is protection. Okay, we got to protect these people because there's some crazy people out there. So we got to protect these particular type of people with hardcore laws on the time concerning the time that people get. We have to give out hardcore core laws because they're in they're in danger every time they step out with these crazy people. Because you got to look at this too, guys. There's some straight people that were raped, sexually touched by gay people, and they're it's not fair, but they're taking it out on you, women included. You know, some women did something to 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 some little girl, and that little girl grew up resenting gay women. The stories are out there, so you have to also keep that in perspective. That there are some almost vigilantes, avengers that were raped and sexually touched by the same sex, and they just basically hate the whole community of gay people because of that. Now, I'm not saying it's right, but these are the reasons. And sometimes it's not, you don't have to agree with something, but you understand the reasons. So although you might say, well, there are some these straight people are crazy out here, you know, we just minding our business, but see, something happened to them that got them out here like that, to where they feel like they got to be Batman concerning you. Like, who does that? So obviously, they're fueled by some bad experience they had with someone that was gay or lesbian. Many of them, you'll be surprised how many people have that experience. So keep that in consideration. Some of these people are hurt. They are using you as a punching bag. They're using you because you are gay. They're using you as a punching bag for what they went through because someone did something to them, and so they just can't stand the likes of you. You just remind them subconsciously of what happened to them. You see what I'm saying? So you got to consider that too. Like I said, straight people got to consider that everybody that's gay didn't sign up for it. You know, something happened to them too. Just like something may have happened to you being straight and you just hate gay people, something happened to actual gay people when they were younger too, just like it happened to you. The only difference is instead of being hateful like you are, they just went with it. They just kept going with it. You decided to stop it and be with women if you're a guy and be with guys if you're a woman. You decided to let it end there and they just didn't. That's the difference. They could have been bitter just like you. They could have hated gay people just like you. Same thing with me. I could have hated it. You know what I'm saying? When I was 16 as well, I had a pedophile pick me up in his car. A gay guy. Now at 16, that's the age where you start packing guns, you start being a little dangerous, you know, and I could have easily at that age after that happened to me, when a pedophile picked me up in his car, I could have easily been disgusted at bisexual men or and gay men. But but that didn't happen to me. It's just not that's just not me. But I could have been one. I could have been like you. All you hateful people that hate gay people, I could have been just like you. From my experiences, somebody picking me up in the car, that some bisexual guy trying to get off with some 16-year-old. He obviously was not 16. You know, and it's just, you know, besides the laws, it's just a certain. I don't know, man. It's just something wrong with an adult being with a child to me. I don't care if the age of consent is 16, 17. I don't care. A grown man should find no desire to be with a 16-year-old. I don't care how they look. I don't care about that. You should just be so repelled, 100% repelled by the fact that they're a child. That's it. You know, that should repel you. It should be nothing else you should really be pondering on except the fact that they're a child. And I could hold that because me, you would never find me cruising ever looking for some 16-year-old kid, man. I don't care what the laws are. That's what real men are like. That's what real women are like. Ain't no real woman out here looking for no 16-year-old kid because the laws let them do it. They're not looking for the young guy like that. And if they are, something is wrong. Because a woman should want a fully grown man, and they should be, and you should be attracted to a fully grown man, you know, the full makeup, the mind, the heart, the soul, the emotions, the sophistication of a man. You should want that as a man or a woman. You should want sophistication of a sex partner. When you find somebody that don't care about sophistication of a sex partner, that's when that's when your hunches should kick in. But I'm not saying you should be trying to, if they're not doing anything, I'm not saying you should trying to incriminate them or trying to investigate them. But it's questionable to me when you don't desire a sophisticated sexual companion. Like, in other words, you more than even a job and money, because you have some kids out there. You might come into a kid at 16 that got money, got car, money, cash, everything. It's not just that part. It's the mental, the intellectual part, the heart, the emotions. If you find someone always talking about what they like about this, the mind, they want this in the companion mentally, emotionally, and heart. That's someone that ain't even attracted to kids, because they're attracted to an image of a sophisticated adult. So how do you get attraction to, out of all of that, all these likes, all these desires that you find in the sophisticated adult? How do you get out of that, overriding all of that, a desire for children? Nah, that's how I find out. I find out how sophisticated is your desires for a sexual companion. That's how I find out. Okay, he likes women that like to have conversations, like to interact, like that, like to do certain things, like music, like to have certain conversations, like to talk about, world history. He like women that's sophisticated in these areas, women that like to cook, enjoy certain foods. Nah, that's a person, from that right there, I already know that person's desire system is in the direction of an adult. Now, when you find somebody broke down, always trying to hang around kids, trying to go to the movies all the time, always trying to go to some kid-oriented place, and they don't have any sophistication at all in what they like to do, and or who their companions is always some kids. They always hanging out with some kids, going to. I mean, it's one thing to enjoy. It's one thing, I don't do it, but I can understand if someone likes to have fun, take kids out, to have fun at amusement parks or something like that. But a person that just it's too indulgent in that, and they have no sophistication with companions, like they don't have companions that do sophisticated things outside of childlike things, that's when you probably have a problem. Because if you look at it, most of these teachers always in the kids' atmosphere. Most of these people that entertain children be the main ones. This is the history, folks. They be the main ones that's caught up messing with these children sexually. The ones that's sitting back, always in a child atmosphere, always doing unsophisticated things, going to seeing cartoon movies and animated movies and stuff. You ain't never going to doing nothing adult. You can't tell me nothing that is non-childlike that you do. You don't go everywhere you go is childlike. Everything you watch is childlike on TV. And you think that's cute, and it's not cute. That's not cute. And and for the history of it all and the records of it all, that's the main ones that wind up doing these things. The teachers, lately it's been the teachers. Always in a childlike atmosphere, interacting with children. You think this is great, you think this is grand. These be the main ones. Taking children to the movies all the time. You know, they be the main ones. And then let's keep it 100. I don't know what it used to be, but these days, that's what it is now. It's these ones that's being teachers. What's the other one? The coaches and the sports and stuff. Let's look at it for what it is. They're always in these childlike atmospheres. Their companions are always children. They're always doing childlike stuff. And their companions, you never see them with companions or a desire to be with a companion with a sophisticated makeup that like to do sophisticated adult things. That's where you probably have someone that is attracted to children. And that's what it is now. I can't talk about the 80s. I can't talk about the 60s with this stuff. Right now, these days, it's been all these people all up into all this other, all into this childlike stuff. All these coaches, all these teachers, all these people that you trust the most. All you American parents, the ones you've been trusting the most, that's in these unsophisticated, childlike atmospheres that enjoy being friends with children, them be the main ones getting caught up. Now that's right now. That's relevant. I don't care nothing about the past. I'm talking about now. They've been the main ones, and that I think what I'm saying is correct. The ones that always want to be with children and a child and having a child companion, a child as a companion, caught up in these always watching these animated movies and all that kind of thing. Never having a companion with a sophisticated makeup or desiring a companion with a sophisticated makeup. That's what it's been now. That's how it is now. These be the people that prey on your children, the ones that you trust the most with your children. Not the gay community, because half of y'all think, oh, it's gay people. Gay people do that and you think that because you find what they do is very nasty and perverted, so you think they'll do anything. That's not true.